Welcome back to West Coast XC. I am your host, Ken Martinez. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you could please subscribe, that would be very helpful. If you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please follow us. That would be great too. Well, today is Season 2, Episode 1, because we're starting the Fall Cross Country Campaign. We started Season 1 back in November around the time of the California Cross Country State Meet, and did all the way through indoor season into track season and our summer practices. And now we are ready to start a new cross country season, a new school year. And so we are at Season 2, Episode 1. And looking forward to another awesome season. In fact, our photographer in California, Todd Tokubo, is going to talk about 5 meets he's looking forward to taking pictures at. And I'm also going to talk about some of the 5 meets I'd like to take pictures at this fall. We're going to go back in time. I want to make sure that you get a chance to go to our YouTube channel, because we've spent the last 3 weeks going over the all-time greats of each state on the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California. And we had amazing guests on, Albert Kawana in California, Keenan Gray in Washington, and then Dave Frank in Oregon. And they're both extremely knowledgeable and love their states that they're from. And they talk about the athletes that almost made the Mount Rushmore of their state and what athletes made it. You know, Mount Rushmore has 4 presidents who are the 4 greatest distance runners. So I would encourage you, if you have not watched those or listened to those, please go back and listen to them and watch them. They're really pretty amazing and great information about the past. But now we're moving to the present, which is this upcoming season. And we're looking forward to going to all these wonderful meets. After our interview with Todd, there's going to be an interview with the kids from Gresham High School. That's a school in the eastern part of Portland, east of Portland, in between Mount Hood and Portland, Oregon. And I talked to the Gresham Gophers when I went to their practice, and you'll hear from Jack, Zion, Jordan, Leslie, and Shayla as they talk about things they look forward to in the fall and what they had fun doing in the summer. So that's at the end, so hang in there. And so now let's head over and talk to Todd about the meets we're looking forward to this fall. Well, welcome, Todd Tokubo. Hey, Todd.
Ken, how's it going? How's your summer been?
Oh, it's been pretty decent. How's yours?
Back at work. Kids are back at school. Can't complain.
Okay. Well, this is Season 2, Episode 1. Trivia question, who was on Season 1, Episode 1? Who was my guest?
Was that me?
Yes.
I have a story to tell real quick. I was out at a family thing, and this guy stops me and says, "Hey, you do podcasts? Like, my son was watching this West Coast cross country thing and you were on it. It was really weird." It's like, yeah, it's kind of surreal when people come up and tell you they watched the podcast with you on it. It's really strange.
That is a cool story. I don't know if that's happened to me. Wow. That is really cool. I was at a Nike shoe store in Camarillo, California, and this kid recognized me. So maybe it has to be from this podcast, because I don't put my picture on the West Coast XC, but he was really happy to see me at the Nike outlet in Camarillo, California. Go Scorpions of Camarillo. Good luck this season. All right. So
fun fact, I did live in Camarillo for 6 months. So
how old were you? Were you a baby, or do you remember it?
No, I was there for an internship.
Okay. That's kind of my home turf. That's near where I'm from.
Cool.
Yeah, go Scorpions. They were in our school district, in our league, when I was teaching at Channel Islands High School. And so today's episode is talking about 5 meets you look forward to going to. Let me say something, Todd. I'm going to go over my 5 meets. Every meet I look forward to going to. And I ended up doing it by calendar, not by order of most fun. I just did it by going down the calendar, and suddenly I realized it's the end of September and I've run out of meets. So it's not because the other meets aren't as good. It's just I probably should do 12, but that would just be too long. So I'm going to do my 5, and I actually have 1 left for you'll see later after September. But anyway. So, but I think we flipped a coin and I get to go first. Okay. So my fifth one, I'm cheating, Todd. I have two meets only because they're very similar and they're on the same weekend.
Okay.
And that is, and this is by calendar. This is at the beginning of both California and Oregon seasons, Southern California. The night meet in Wilsonville, Oregon, and then the Cool Breeze meet in Pomona, California. And the reason why I put them together is they are both under the lights. Super exciting. The advantages for a meet director is a lot because believe it or not, it gets hot in Oregon. In fact, this weekend is the Hood to Coast. It's going to be 100 degrees on Friday and Saturday of Hood to Coast. So it can get really hot. And so sometimes, having it under the lights kind of guarantees you're going to have a meet. And same with Cool Breeze, even though it's a funny name, it's hot in Pomona. And so anyway, they're under the lights, both season openers. California, in Southern section, there might be a couple of meets the weekend before, but for most of the teams, it's season opener. Has great energy, both meets. Everybody's excited about the meets. There's kids all over the place. It's packed. It's big meets. Both are very fast courses. Night meet starts 2 laps on the track, goes on the pavement, and then the school has like endless field turf in the back for softball and baseball and soccer. And so then they come back and do another lap on the track and finish on field turf. So it's super fast. And at Pomona, it's on really nicely groomed grass, like you'd see on a golf course, but it's not a golf course. And then they do go on some gravel roads, but they're really pretty good footing. And and they're flat. Both races are flat. And they also have something else in common, Todd, very challenging for photography because the lighting is, I mean, it's okay if you get in the right spot. It's pretty good, but in between the lights, it can be challenging. And so I put them together because they're very similar. The night meet is a grade level race, which is, freshmen run together, sophomores, which as a coach, I used to go to the meet as a coach. I appreciate that because it's really hard to put your varsity 7 up when it's summertime. You don't really know. And they run 3,000 meters, which is a little different. Whereas it's a 3-mile course at the Cool Breeze. But they're on the same weekend, not always, but this year they're on the same weekend. Night meet, super fun, lots of excitement. And so that's my first one of my 5. How about you?
To them? Or
What's that?
You can't go to both of them.
I am going to go to both of them.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to go Friday night to the night meet and hop on an airplane Saturday morning and go to Cool Breeze Saturday night.
Cool.
Yeah, it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do both of them. When I went and visited schools in California for their summer practices, I do this little interview at the end and they say, oh, we love Cool Breeze. And then when I was in Oregon doing interviews with the kids, they'd say, I love the night meet. So I'm going to be at both.
That's cool. That's awesome. I'll go ahead. Mine's also another grade level meet. It's actually my local league's opener on September 3rd. The MVAL opener, Newark Memorial has a new track this year. So it's supposed to have an opening event this Friday for football. So it'll be ready for our cross country opener. It's a 2-mile race, more or less 1 lap on the track around the campus. There's not a lot of terrain, but I like the early season grade level races. It's fun to see I think year over year it's a lot more fun to see how the kids advance and you get to see new faces. We do a cool thing at the end of it. The top 7, they get medals even for an early season race. And so every year for the last few years, I've taken a picture of the top 7, and it's funny to see some of the kids who were freshmen and you get to see them change through all 4 years. So it's a good time.
I would agree. I wanted to mention that about the night meet also. You see the seniors line up at the end. That's the last race. You're like, wow, these are the seniors now. Wow. You have to kind of get used to it. And then the freshman race, you're saying, whoa, this is the future.
Yeah.
Some of those girls are not just the future, but they're the present. The boys, not so much because there's just little guys, but
right.
It's fun to watch. Yeah. Especially the seniors. You're like, whoa, these are the superstars of this year. Oh, it's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
What does MVL mean? I'm gonna say Athletic League. Is it Mountain Valley Athletic League?
Mission Valley Athletic League.
Mission Valley Athletic League. Okay.
It's the area around Fremont, Union City, Newark, on the opposite. We're opposite the peninsula, basically.
Gotcha. Mission Valley. Okay. My next one is also not necessarily my second most favorite meet. It's just the second meet on the calendar. It's the Bellarmine Invitational. I know that you have the Bellarmine Bells of San Jose, but this is Bellarmine of Tacoma, a Catholic school in Tacoma. And it's not the biggest meet in Washington. There's the John Payne Invitational in Tacoma later in October. And then in October, there's the Hole in the Wall up in Arlington. But Bellarmine has this great meet. It's like a season opener for Washington. Washington season starts a little later than Oregon and California. And because it's a season opener, it's only a 2-mile race. So in Oregon and Washington, I actually don't remember this when I was coaching and running in California. We never had abbreviated courses at the beginning of the season, but Oregon and Washington likes to have their opening meets to have just like a shorter race, which is, as a coach, you're thrilled for JV freshman kids. You're like, that's good enough right now. But anyway, it's in Tacoma. And it also harkens back to the glory days when I moved here to Oregon in the early 90s. Because when I went to meets in California as a coach, all the meets in Southern California are huge, not because they mean to be, but there's just a lot of schools in the LA City and then Southern section. So in Oregon, you tended to have meets, invitationals hosted on campus, which limited your ability to like host 40 teams. You could only host 15. So Tacoma just hosts about 15 teams. That's what their campus can hold, but they're really good runners. I think Dicestead will do their top 100 boys and girls. There'll probably 5 Washington boys and 5 Washington girls. And so that's 10 kids. 5 of the 10 kids will be at this meet. It's a really high caliber meet. Bellarmine's a very, very good running tradition school. And also here's the thing too, Todd, it's only like a little over 2 hours from my house. So I can zip up there, take pictures and come back. And, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to give a shout out to the Bellarmine Invitational Fun Meet in Tacoma. What do you have next?
I'm gonna skip one mid-season race for the end of our conversation. So the next one on the calendar is actually the Big West Championship college race. For track, I got to shoot for the UC Davis team because my son's on the team. But the great thing about this year's Big West Championship meet is it's at the Queen Kapiolani Regional Park in Honolulu, Hawaii, next to Diamond Head. So
when Instagram, like on Instagram, when like I think UC Riverside's in the Big West, is that right? Or Long Beach State, or UC Irvine, whenever they posted their schedule in early August, I was like, whoa, that would be really fun to go to Hawaii. Yeah. And you're going to go to Hawaii.
Knock on wood. Yes, that is the plan. It's my son's senior season at Davis, so hopefully we'll get to go there. Obviously, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is the favorite for both boys and girls. Still, they've got such an incredible team. Actually, I'm a proud alumni. But
are you really?
Yeah. I graduated from Cal Poly way back in the day.
Wow.
But it's Hawaii. It's actually UC Davis and Hawaii's last years in the Big West also. Right. They'll be changing conferences next year.
Mm-hmm. But I saw Hawaii. That and I was asked my wife, what do you, because she does travel with me, not to every meet, but she'll look at the calendar and go, I think I might come with you. I'm like, that's great. Because I forget about, she knows how to take pictures. So then I put her on the course, and it's like great to get it. Cross country is hard. They come by you, and then and then you might get them a second time. And if you don't get everybody, to get them on another part of the cross country course is great. Anyway, I said, hey, Diane, what do you think about going to the Big West Championship? It's in Hawaii, but you've got it covered. I'll let you do that and do your farewell tour with your son. That's awesome. My next one is one that you've heard of. Everybody's heard of. It's next on the calendar. It's the Woodbridge Invitational. It's a 2-day meet. It's massive. It's so big. The first year I went to it, I didn't realize there was media parking, which is right next to the finish line. I just bought parking really far away, and I looked on my phone to see where the starting line was. It was over a mile walk. This park is massive. It's got lots of baseball, beautiful baseball stadiums, football stadiums. It has a merry-go-round. It has a balloon, a helium, I don't know, helium balloon that goes up in the sky and comes back down. It's an incredible park. It's huge. And the thing about this meet is that it has a lot of the schools on the West, not just the West Coast, but we're talking Utah and Texas and Arizona and Idaho and Nevada and Colorado. And it's a miniature NXN meet in some ways. Some not, obviously there's some really good teams in the Midwest and the South and the Northeast, but you get to see some of the really good kids from Texas, the Harriman's kids from Utah. Jane Hedegren ran last year, last 2 years there. And so you get to see some of the really big runners. They have a rated and sweepstakes race. So there's like 4 races, 2 girls and 2 boys, that are very intense, but the other races are pretty darn good too. From a photographer standpoint, Todd, it's dark again, and it's not made for photography. It's made just to be light enough for kids to get around certain spots. The other problem is it only does the course once. So
one lap.
Yeah, and it's like really spread out. So you can't you just can't, I don't know. So at the end, I can get 2 spots, one that both places are not well lit, and then I get to the finish. And they're bang bang, and I can do 3 little spots there. But yeah, that's the challenging part. But otherwise, it's a very, very fun meet. It's very competitive. And then, Todd, I'm going to show my age. I ran it in 1981 and 1982, and I believe by doing the math, I went to the first and second Woodbridge, which was an age grade, as a grade race. I ran against the juniors, and then later next year against the seniors. And it was not the meet that is today, just a normal meet in Orange County. And then my wife's coming too.
Sounds like that are the meets they are today.
Yeah. My wife says she's coming with me too. So we'll have another camera on the course, will be nice because it's hard to get around. Anyway, so that's Woodbridge, and I'm looking forward, of course, to going back to Woodbridge. That's my third one on the calendar.
So my third one, I'm going to jump ahead to the California Championship season, would be the NCS Championship race, North Coast section. So California has 6 sections plus LA, Oakland, San Francisco, San Diego section, something like that.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So the North Coast section is the section I've been a part of for the last 6 years. It's at Hayward High School. They're going to change the course this year. We kind of covered that in our summer series. I got to go talk to the Hayward High coaches, and so they're going to try and change the course a little bit this year, because last year it rained all day and it was an absolute mess. So they're going to try to weatherproof the course a little bit to make it a little more competitive, because the times, the problem was with the times, you just kind of had to throw them out. You had to purely go by place.
Do you think also kids were hurt that might have made it because it was slippery and then have really good footing?
It was just really hard. I think it was just, most kids have never run in those conditions before. I mean, so it was new for everybody. I went to a coaches clinic with a lot of the Northern California coaches this summer, and one of the Campo coaches was there, and he brought up one of our pictures of the kids running through the slop when he was talking about how do you prep. Part of your job as a coach is to prep for certain events, and they come packing with multiple shoes, and sometimes you can't wear Vaporflies if weather doesn't allow, and that was a big thing. Actually, shoe choice actually made a difference that day. So
I've seen kids, and this is when I was in California. We went to a meet when I was at Aloha in Pepperdine in September, and for the first time in over 20 years, it rained in September in Southern California, and it rained really hard. And we went to Pepperdine for a high school meet. It was a college high school meet, and kids were losing their shoes, and they were like putting athletic tape around their shoes to keep them on their ankles.
Yeah, but everyone shifted here in California really to running in road super shoes for most of our cross country races, because we can't wear spikes in California. But what you saw was a lot of the teams that were prepared, they did have cross country spike shoes. They just put in plugs for
Right.
the spikes. So they switched to flats, and it made a difference for some of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of it. And the Campo boys are ranked pretty high. Dublin boys, University, St. Mary's, De La Salle's got a good team coming back. The girls will be the first year without Hannah Thompson, since
Mm-hmm.
the Division 3 race was the Hannah Thompson Classic every year. Um, but the girls meets will be the girls side will be good with Berkeley, Granada, Redwood, Monte Vista. So there's a lot of good teams, a lot of high level runners. So yeah, it'll be good fun. It's kind of like my season ending home meet. That's kind of how it feels.
There's some good press on the Campolindo boys doing well, and also the St. Mary's boys. You would send me photos from the track season. I was trying to, like, I don't really know the kids very well. I'm trying to tag them, and I'm looking them up on the results, and I see they're like sophomores and juniors last spring. And
Yeah,
I was like, oh
Campo
boy.
returns their entire team that won Division 3 California State last year.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much set.
So that's your third one. My fourth one it's totally biased, but Todd, I've been putting on this meet called Nike Portland XC since 1992. And so when those kids toe the line and they finally race, it's like a lot of months of like preparation for that. And what I like about the meet is that they're kids from all over the West, even like in the Division 3 and Division 2 races. So it goes Division 1's faster, and then we have a Danner Championship, which is the fastest. But the other Division 2 and Division 3, you can line up, and the team next to you could be from Arizona, and the other team could be from Idaho. And I think that's cool. I think it's nice to like go to a meet and see different kids and not see the same teams every week for invitational. So I like that. From a photographer standpoint, there's a place where I can stand and I only need to walk a couple steps here and there, and I can get them 5 times. So it's good.
Course design right there.
I know the guy who designed the course, but I didn't really think about it in terms of photography. But yeah, I don't have to run around. I just walk this way, walk that way. The first few they're really called bunched together, so those almost like not really worthless. They're kind of cool to look at, but they're just like too many kids. And then the last 3 times, one of them is the finish. They separate more, and I can get some really good shots. So that is my home meet Nike Portland XC that I have been putting on for a very long time. And actually, I couldn't take pictures at one time. I was going crazy too much. But now I'm meet director emeritus, and I step back a little bit. I do help out quite a bit to set up the course and stuff like that. But I step back and take photos and just have fun.
I forget which meet I was at. I was wearing West Coast hat, and somebody said, "Oh, I loved your pictures from Portland XC." I said, "Yeah, great. Those were Ken's pictures."
Yeah.
So
it's
it,
all one happy family.
Yeah, all one big happy family. Yeah. My fourth one, it'll be my second year going to this, will be the CCS Championship. So we have the North Coast Championship, we have the Central Coast Championship, which is a lot of the San Jose and Peninsula schools. That's on that Crystal Springs Uplands course. It's going to be hard to beat last year with that crop of senior boys that came through. But places like you mentioned Bellarmine before, they always field a great team. Palo Alto has some great runners returning on the girls' side. One thing to watch out for this year is the Division 5 group, which was really competitive last year. It has a lot of coaching changes. Albert Caruana, who you've talked to before, he's taken a year off. And then George from Menlo, he moved over to
Parker
Academy. So 2 of the top teams there, they have a head coaching change as well. So should be interesting. And this course, it starts at the top of this hill. The kids crest and basically run down a huge grade to start with. It's kind of crazy. I can't imagine them running some of like the grade level courses and having like freshmen run down this. It seems minorly hazardous. But yeah, It's a really hilly course, lots of twists and turns, but really kind of a classic cross country course.
I don't really, as a coach, I don't really complain about courses unless it's really bumpy and kids could twist their ankle. Then I get a little nervous about kids getting hurt, but I don't get too fired up if it's flat or whatever. Like in Oregon, we have a lot of grass flat courses, including our invitational Nike Portland XC.
Mm.
So when we took our Aloha kids there in 2009, they had never seen anything quite like that. They were like the wide-eyed freshmen. They're like, what on earth is this starting line? It goes straight down a hill. It was crazy.
Yeah, it is literally straight down the hill. After your first 20 steps, you're stepping off a cliff. It's pretty nutty.
It's nutty. But my kids loved it. They just thought it was so cool. But it was just like, whoa. I go, that's how it is in California. They try to find the most difficult terrain.
Yeah. You talked earlier about not having short courses. We do have a lot of short courses in early season things like Artichoke and a couple other places.
Good.
But they're all really hilly.
Okay. I want to talk about the 90 one more time. The kids would run the 3000. It's on field turf and it's on the track. And my kids would finish and go, I got a PR in the 3000. I go, oh, you got a PR? I'm not a big PR guy when it comes to cross country because I don't believe in them because every course is different. You can't really get a PR in my mind. Every course is measured incorrectly. You can't really get a PR, So I'm like, you got a PR in the 3000? He goes, yeah, from last April. I'm like, no, we run the 3000 in Oregon. I'm like, no. Did you run this course last year? No, I'm a freshman. I go, oh, whatever. Anyway, so the kids would always say they got a PR, and I would always have to question them because I was like, no, I mean, you hopefully ran faster than you ran last year, but it's such a fast course. The kids would run faster than they ran their track 3000. It's flat and fast. It's coming up. It's coming up pretty soon. So looking forward to that. Anyway, this is number 5. And Nike Portland XC is the last weekend of September. I'm like, well, there's all these great October meets. What are you talking about? But so I only had one more to go. So I went for the big kahuna. I went for NXN in December in Portland. And Nike does this really incredible job of suiting up all the athletes in different types of different colors. They all are wearing the same. They're wearing the same uniform, like style, but they have different colors. And when you see them on the line, it's just beautiful. And the athletes you've read about or seen on Instagram or on Reels or whatever, from the Midwest and the Heartland and the South and the East Coast, you get to see them live. I remember Caitlin Tui, her sophomore year, was just destroying everything, and I got to see her live. I got to see her run. That was pretty cool. So that's really fun. This course never repeats itself, but unlike the Woodbridge meet where it's like really spread out, it's pretty compact on a golf course. So I can, like toggle between different spots so I can get good photos. The negative, Todd, is the weather's pretty much miserable every year. And one year, the year that Nico Young and Caitlin Tui won, my lens shutter stalled on me because it got so wet. But at the same time, the positive about photography is you've got some gnarly photos of kids just a mess and kids falling, and it is a mess. And then this year, the USATF US Championships are going to be there also. Yeah, after the NXT.
Same days or the next day?
Same day. The word on the street is that the USATF is going to have a different course, so because it'll be destroyed after the 2 races go through there. And so I guess it's not that big of a golf course, but somehow they're rigging it so they have 2 different courses so they don't mess each other. I don't know how we're going to get around with all these flags everywhere. I don't know how they're going to do it because you have to in order for me to toggle, I have to go underneath all these flags and stuff. So there'll be more flags because there'll be another race they'll have set up. But anyway, NXN, incredible race in early December in Portland. And that is one of my 5 races I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that one, I know Russell, who helps out and posts a lot of pictures for West Coast also. He had some amazing photos.
Yes, amazing photos. Correct. I asked, my wife is so nice.
Go download his photo book from his site. That's correct.
The plug. Yes, they're beautiful. My wife is like, you should invite Russell to come down. I go, okay. So I asked him if he wanted a media pass, and he said he did. And Man, his photos were
There's
incredible.
over me.
Beautiful photos. Yeah, I agree. All right, what's your fifth one?
My last one is probably the biggest meet that we have in California, which is the Clovis Invitational. It's looks like it's bigger this year. Keeps getting
Really?
bigger. Last year was the first year they went to 2 days.
Yeah.
They changed the format again. They now have 6 divisions.
I saw that. Yeah.
So they did away with the small, medium, large, whatever. They now have division 1 through 6 based on school size. And they added sorry, I'm looking at my other screen here because I'm actually looking at what it says here. They actually added a division 3, 4, 5 championship race on Friday. So should be an interesting meet. They changed up they're tweaking the format a little bit. Some of the buzz going around when we were going around talking to a lot of the teams and coaches in the summer, one of the questions for Clovis was, are they ever going to stop adding teams? But
you know what they've done? Because so Clovis has come to our invitational, and then the guy that it's Bill Butner, that one of the races is named after him. He called me and asked me questions of how we do it, and we use athletic.net at the time. That wasn't really common in California, so I was explaining how that works and chip timing and stuff like that. And he was telling me that they had to just stop really having JV races. They just couldn't handle the volume. So if you notice, they do have JV races, but you can't bring your whole team. You can only bring a handful of your JV runners because they'd be there all day for 2 straight days. And it's really still pretty hot in October in Fresno.
Looks like they reduced. They used to do like JV big, medium, small. They've now started compressing all of those together also. So there's fewer JV races. I'm just looking at the schedule here right now. But the cool part is that there will be a second kind of sub championship race along with the boys and girls, kind of basically an open race, which for the boys, I fully expect Jesuit from Sacramento to probably be the top team there. They're absolutely stacked. I think they only lost one guy from their team last year, and they're all fast.
Pretty good transfer too. That's the word on the street too.
So that's what I heard also. Yeah.
And he's really good, and so that makes them a lot deeper too. But
and then, are you coming down this year? Is the question.
I am coming down. Yes, I am coming down, and I am coming down for both days. I think I told you that the airline tickets, for whatever reason, is super expensive Thursday night to get there on Friday. But my wife has miles that she has from opening a credit card, so she's let me use her miles. It's very sweet of her.
So the races start Friday at 7:15.
Correct. Yep. I think I land at 9 p.m. or something.
Yeah. So if you're coming, that's great, because last year, that first day, I was really only kind of the only pro photographer there, or pro-ish. Sorry, I shouldn't call myself a pro-ish. And I almost pulled a hamstring running from spot to spot. So
I liked how that was probably the most popular post that I did last year, was the Saturday Clovis Invitational, because I was posting because I kind of stick around the finish area, kind of like really close to there. And you're at a spot that more towards the freeway at 41.
Yeah.
Nobody really goes, I don't think, photographer wise. And you got unique photos. So then I would post my Division 1 and Division 2 or whatever they were. And then the next day I'd post yours, and I'd get the same amount. It wasn't like, oh, not those again. They were like, oh, no, these are way different. And they're spread out differently too. You can get kids that I just could not get for whatever reason. Plus, there's a little bit of a hill where you are, so they kind of almost forced to spread out because they get.
They're almost forced, yeah. And I think the only other real person I saw, Jimmy Sue would come by every once in a while, but he just moves. He moves everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be an interesting race. I'm looking at the schools here. There's the Division 6 group alone has 40 schools in it for girls.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they cut it off. So we're looking at 40 schools per division, minus the ones that get cut out for the opens.
Woo.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah. Well, there we are. Those are our 5. That doesn't mean that we're not going to any other meets. We're going to a lot of meets. I'm going to put up a
Yes.
graphic probably next week that shows you where I will be.
Oh, I should give you all of mine too.
What's that?
I should give you all of mine too.
I should tell you that Todd and I have another roll of stickers. We're ready to rumble, at least through September. It depends how many people ask me.
I got rid of all mine by the end of summer. I'm so happy.
You got new ones though, right?
I did get new ones. Yeah.
Okay.
I got them.
So I was at Woodbridge 2 years ago, and these kids come up to me and ask for stickers, and all these photographers were standing next to me and they're like, "What is happening?" I go, "I don't know. I hand out stickers. It's okay." It's pretty fun. All right. Well, Todd, I'm looking forward to your photos and how you're also toggling between high school and college meets too. That's fantastic. I'm going to some college meets too. They just are later in October and November, and I ran out of 5 meets. So
you got NXN in there. I really did I had FOMO knowing that you were at NXN last year. So that looked really cool.
In order for West Coast to work for me, I have to get in the car and go up to Tacoma or Seattle, and then I fly down to California. It is very nice that I just wake up, get in my car, head to Portland. Is like a 35-40 minute drive from the other side of Portland. And I get completely drenched. I have Gore-Tex, everything. But when you're out there for 4 or 5 hours, it doesn't matter if you have Gore-Tex. It eventually seeps in. And it's nice just to go home and get out of that wet stuff. Although this meet will be longer. We have the US ATF races. So I don't know. We'll see. If it doesn't rain, Todd, it's usually really cold and windy. So it's just it's a challenging.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hang out in California then. You just killed the FOMO for me.
If it doesn't rain, we got the east winds from the gorge, and it's a little freezing. Like when Aaron Solomon won it 3 years ago, it was clear, but it was very cold. But the next morning it snowed, and I saw a story by the Newbury Park kids outside their embassy suites where they house them, putting their hands out for the snow. Because if it does get cold and it gets cloudy, you'll get a little snow sometimes. Well, Todd, thank you so much. That was fun.
No problem. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for inviting me. 1 year anniversary. Good job.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, first episode, season 2. All right, thanks, Todd.
See you out there.
In this next segment, you're going to meet the Gophers of Gresham, and these are the athletes of Jack, Zion, Jordan, Leslie, and Shayla. After their practice, they answered some questions about what they enjoyed during the summer and what they look forward to in the fall. On the day that I visited them, they were doing daily doubles. They had just returned from hill repeats at a park, and they had a run earlier that morning. And you'll notice in the video that they have popsicles in their hands. The coach, Taylor Ramirez, brought popsicles, which I also had a popsicle. It was a lemonade popsicle. It was awesome. And they talk about the Gresham Gophers. So let's listen and watch and see what we can learn about the Gophers. Okay, we are here with the Gresham Gophers. Go Gophers!
Woo! Yeah.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name's Jack.
Hi, Jack.
I'm Zion.
Zion.
I'm Jordan.
Jordan.
I'm Leslie.
Leslie.
I'm Shyla.
Shyla. Let me ask you first, what were some of your highlights for summer cross country?
Some of my highlights for summer cross country were going to practices in the morning and then in the evening, and just working out with the people that really wanted to come out during summer and get better.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Under the lights practice for sure, super fun, and being able to meet new people that are coming out for the first time.
I really enjoyed the community and the space and the jokes we made.
I really like meeting new people. I really like the early morning runs and meeting new people.
Okay, and the last question is, cross country season starts in about, the first meet's in a week and a half, right? Yeah. So what do you look forward to during cross country season?
I'm super excited for the 3-course challenge meet with like mud pits and hills. It's a big challenge. It's not fast, but it feels like it's a really challenging course, so I really enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah, same. 3 courses is going to be lots of fun, and then our overnight trip that we do every year is going to be super cool.
And where are you guys going?
Where are we going?
Up into Arlington.
For
Hole in the Wall.
Hole in the Wall. Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely have to say our overnight meet and the spaghetti feed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing. Overnight meet is going to be really exciting, and our team dinner. I'm super excited for overnight meet and hole in the wall. Yeah, hole in the wall. And our 3-course challenge and being friends with the new girls.
Nice. All right, well, thank you so much. Go Gophers.
Go Gophers.
Well, I want to thank Todd Tokubo for coming on this week and talking about the meets he's looking forward to taking pictures this fall. If you live in the Bay Area, Northern California, look for Todd and his photos. He's an outstanding photographer. I'm very thankful that he's helping us. I also want to thank Gresham High School for inviting me to their practice and for the athletes talking to me about what they're looking forward to in the summer, what they look forward to in the fall, and what they enjoyed during the summer. And I also want to thank all the schools that invited me and also spoke to me too. You can see on our YouTube channel all the interaction that I had with the kids from the different teams and what they like to do in the summer with the team and what they look forward to in the fall. It's pretty interesting to watch, so please go back and check those out. Go back and check out all the all-time greats from Washington, Oregon, and California. We spent the last 3 weeks talking to Keenan Gray of Washington and Dave Frank of Oregon and Albert Kawana of California, and that was super fun too. So check out those episodes on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow. And as we were recording and editing this current-ish effort of West Coast XC, we learned that Footlocker was being canceled for 2025. It looks like it's facing an uncertain future, and it's a real shame. You know, I talked about the 5 meets I'm really looking forward to. Well, there are many more meets I'm looking forward to. I had to narrow it down to 5. Footlocker was one of those meets I really look forward to. It's a national championship meet in San Diego. And for selfish reasons, I liked it also because the week before we're in Portland for NXN. It's really cold and rainy. It's really nice to get out to San Diego in mid-December. And they do a great job. It's the introductions and the award ceremony is awesome. Another personal reason is that I was very fortunate early in my career, back in 1990, to coach Veronica Barajas when I was a teacher and coach at Channel Islands High School. And so she raced at Footlocker, except it was called the Kinney National Meet because Kinney Shoes was the sponsor back then. And she finished 5th. If you look over my shoulder here, you see a picture of her where it says Kinney right there. That's Veronica. Made the cover of the magazine the next year when the athletes went to the different regions throughout the United States. They got a program of the meet, and she made the cover. She ran so well. And so, she went there and stayed at the Hotel del Coronado in Coronado Island. It's a very historic, beautiful hotel, and we went to the award ceremony, and because she finished 5th, she was an All-American, first team All-American. They had a dance party at the end, and it's just they did a really great job at Footlocker to really treat the kids great and have some great activities for them. So it's a shame for the athletes, but I also want to say it's a shame for all the meet workers, meet directors that have put all this love and time and effort. One of them was Dennis McClanahan, the Mount Carmel longtime cross country coach. He's now retired. He used to be the meet director. He was the meet director in 1990 when I was coaching Veronica. He's still there. He's the guy that when we have our meeting with the photographers, he gives us instruction. One of the photographers has been to every Footlocker since 1979. I'm sure he's also heartbroken too. So it's a real shame that Footlocker is no longer, and I'll miss the meet. I'll miss going out to San Diego and watching the great meet. That's not a very happy way to end this episode. I'm sorry about that, but you do know that the West Coast is the best coast, and we shall see you next time.